In this lesson, we'll be reviewing ratios and rates, meeting the requirements for TEKS 64B. In our first problem, the table shows the time Monique worked and the amount of money she earned during 4 different weeks. It appears in the first week, she worked 15 hours and was paid $123.75. In the second week, she worked 20 hours and made $165. In the third week, she worked 24 hours and made $198. While in the fourth week, she worked 30 hours and made $247.50. Based on the information in the table, how much will Monique earn if she works 40 hours in a week? So let's take a look at a couple of things. Number one, they want to know how much money she would make if she worked 40 hours. Well, first of all, when she worked 30 hours, she made $247.50. So if she works 40 hours, more hours, she should make more money. So clearly D, $82.50, that doesn't make any sense. How could she work more hours and make much less money? So I think we can eliminate D. And if you look at B, if she made $247.50 in 30 hours, would she only make a few more dollars if she worked another 10 hours? I don't think so. I would probably eliminate B as well. But let's see what else we can do to prove our answer. They want to know what she would make if she worked 40 hours. Well, what do I know about any of these numbers and their relationship with 40? I think if you look closely, you'll realize the number 20 is a factor of 40. 20 times 2 is 40. So if we multiply the number of hours times 2, couldn't we multiply the amount of money times 2? And if we did, $165 times 2 would give us $330, which looks like answer A. And seems to make sense because $255.75 is nowhere near enough more than what she made for 30 hours. $330. In problem 2, Megan and Desmond each added the same amount of water to their aquariums. The same amount of water. However, Megan mixed 5 milliliters of a chemical solution. Megan mixed 5 milliliters of a chemical solution with every gallon in her aquarium. Desmond mixed 8 milliliters. He mixed 8 milliliters with every 2 gallons. For his aquarium, which of these statements is true? Well, before we even look at the statements, let's take a look at what was in the problem. We see Megan mixed 5 milliliters of solution to each gallon, 5 to 1. While Desmond mixed 8 milliliters of solution for every 2 gallons, 8 to 2. So if we look at answer choice A, Megan used more solution per gallon of water than Desmond because 5 to 1 is greater than 8 to 2. How could we tell? Is there something we could do to Desmond's ratio to help us be able to better tell whether Megan or Desmond's was more or less? And if you said yes, that you thought you could, I think you probably should be considering simplifying this ratio. That 8 to 2 is the same as 4 to 1. 8 to 2 simplifies to 4 to 1. And now 5 to 1 would be more than 4 to 1. And so A could be our answer. But let's check out B, C, and D just to be sure. Megan used more solution per gallon of water than Desmond because 5 milliliters is greater than 2 milliliters. Well, did they even mention anything about 2 milliliters anywhere in our problem? The only time they mention 2 is gallons of water, not milliliters of solution. So B is definitely not the answer. In C, Desmond used more solution per gallon of water than Megan because 8 milliliters is greater than 5. Well, you know what? 8 milliliters is greater than 5. However, Desmond put 8 milliliters in 2 gallons of water, while Megan put her 5 in 1 gallon. And we already showed 5 to 1, her simplified ratio, would be greater than 4 to 1, his simplified ratio. So yes, 8 is more than 5, but then again, he also used more water. So C is definitely not the answer. In D, Desmond used more solution per gallon of water than Megan because 8 to 2 is greater than 5 to 1. Well, we know 8 to 2 is not greater than 5 to 1 because 8 to 2 simplifies to 4 to 1, which would be less than 5 to 1. So D is not our answer. Megan mixed 5 milliliters to every gallon. Her ratio was 5 to 1. Desmond mixed 8 milliliters to every 2 gallons. So his ratio was 8 to 2, which simplified to 4 to 1, which was less than Megan's. In our next problem, in Austin, Texas, 8 bats ate 40 grams of insects in one night. Wow. 8 bats ate 40 grams of insects. At this rate, how many grams of insects could 64 bats eat in one night? So at this rate, how many grams of insects would 64 bats eat? How many grams of insects? That looks like we have equivalent rates. Record your answer in the grid and fill in the bubbles. Well, what do we got here? I wrote a proportion, right? 2 equivalent rates. So 8 bats to 40 grams of insects is equivalent to 64 bats eating some unknown number of grams of insects. Since we have a proportion, we can use a proportion solving strategy. And I see one immediately that I could use. Within. I can go from 8 to 40 by multiplying by 5. So if I multiply 64 by 5, I'll know how many grams of insects those 64 bats could eat in one night. And it looks like 320, which I need to put in the grid, and I also need to remember to fill in the correct bubbles. I don't need to put zeros after the decimal, and so I'll leave those boxes and circles blank. In our next problem, a barrel contained 60 gallons of water. Water leaked out of the barrel at a rate of 5 gallons every 3 days. At this rate, how many days did it take for all 60 gallons of water to leak out of the barrel? Well, if I've got 5 gallons leaking out every 3 days, and they want to know how long would it take, we don't know how many days, for all of the water to leak out. So that would be 60 gallons, all of the water in the barrel. We have a proportion, 2 equivalent rates. 5 gallons every 3 days would mean 60 gallons in how many days? Let's see, is there a strategy I can use here? Well, I can't go from 5 to 3 within, But it looks like I probably could go from 5 to 60 using between by multiplying by 12. And 3 times 12 would mean 36 days, which is an answer choice D. But maybe you didn't spot the relationship between 5 and 60, and instead maybe you chose to do cross products. Cross products means I'm multiplying the two numbers that are diagonal from each other. Here it's 3 and 60, so 3 times 60 is 180, and then I have to divide by the remaining number, the 5 that I haven't used. So 180 divided by 5. And that looks like it'll give me 36. Yep, which is the same answer, D. In our next problem, a scuba diver is swimming at a depth of 70 feet. If he descended at a rate of 5 feet every 12 seconds, how many seconds did it take for him to get to his current depth? Well, what do we know? We know that he descended at a rate of 5 feet every 12 seconds. We know he's at 70 feet. But we don't know how long it took him to get there, how many seconds. We've written a proportion to equivalent rates. And now we want to use a solution strategy to solve this proportion. Now I can't get within from 5 to 12, 5, 10, 15, yeah, no, it's not going to work. But I can get between from 5 to 70. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 will eventually get me to 70 by multiplying by 14. So if I multiply my number of seconds by 14, I'll have my answer. 12 times 14. 168 seconds. 168 seconds to get to 70 feet. In our final problem, Diego is making punch for the school carnival. He's blending frozen concentrate with water to make the punch. Based upon the chart below, if Diego uses 9 cups of concentrate, how much punch will he make? 9 cups of concentrate will make how much punch? Well, first, we can see right away in the table, they're showing cups of concentrate right here. 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups, 5 cups, and 6 cups. Okay. And then they're also showing how much punch that makes when he mixes it with the water. So take a look at the punch, the cups of punch. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. What do we notice about the relationship between the cups of concentrate and the cups of punch? It looks like to get from one to the other, I'm multiplying by 4. 1 cup of concentrate makes 4 cups of punch. 2 cups of concentrate makes 8 cups of punch. 3 cups of concentrate makes 12 cups of punch, and it continues on and on. So in the problem up above, it says if he uses 9 cups of concentrate, so if this was 9, then how many cups of punch would he make? It looks to me that if the relationship is times 4, he's going to make 36 cups of punch, which would be answer choice D. Now, I could also look at this and I could say, look at the 3 cups of concentrate. 3 cups of concentrate made 12 cups of punch. And since 9 is 3 times 3, doesn't it make sense that 12 times 3 would be 36. So the ratio appears to be 1 cup of concentrate to 4 cups of punch. So 9 cups of concentrate would make 36 cups of punch, which is answer choice D.